I asked a whole bunch of different people what they regretted about moving to San Antonio. We're gonna start very wide. I searched the internet about reasons people regretted moving to San Antonio. Then later in the video, we're gonna talk about our local groups. And these are locals. These are people I know, I've relocated, our team's relocated, and I've heard their regrets and I'm gonna share with you. So let's dive into the responses we found online. First social platform is Quora. Grishma, who studied at UTSA, says, I moved to San Antonio, Texas for my master's in UTSA. I have never felt more welcome than any other place than this. People are warm, this has amazing food, they love to party and be peaceful. Okay, that's a good one. That's not really regret. Let's go to the next one. James Papa, former military, says, drivers are crazy and would rather hide in your blind spot than get hit. People are rude AF, people are racist AF, people are lazy AF, people want consideration but won't give consideration, people have a chip on their shoulder. It sounds like James is not feeling the vibes of San Antonio. I grew up in New York City, so drivers I don't think are as rude and as fast and aggressive as they are in New York City. But with any big city, you're going to have some aggressive drivers, but apparently James thinks that drivers and other people are very inconsiderate. James goes on to say that every house I look at to rent is either ghetto, has terrible schools, or unaffordable for anybody making less than $10,000 per month. No matter what you pay, the house probably stinks. The median home price has dropped $25,000 in 8 weeks. And the average sales price has dropped $43,000 down to $393,752 for the average sales price sold. So I went on to NerdWallet and did a median house price of today's value, which is $335,000. You're looking at a payment at about $2,442 according to NerdWallet. To me, that's pretty affordable. So James Papa, I don't know what you're spending your money on, but that seems pretty affordable and doesn't seem like you need $10,000 a month to afford that. Let me know in the comments what you think about the affordability. Next up, we have Philip Peterson, who says, I moved from Seattle to San Antonio, so I've been here to San Antonio since 2013. Cost of living is low. People are really nice. Teenage boys walk up to me in the tennis court, shake my hand, introduce themselves. Winters are lovely, play tennis, outdoors, great thunderstorms. You've obviously never been hit by one.
Why are you gonna pay out then?
No earthquake danger. There are a lot of healthcare jobs. Seriously, I can't seem to walk a block without coming up to a hospital medical center. I totally agree with that. There is a lot of healthcare jobs here in San Antonio. Even more businesses, data coding, billing, all those human resources jobs are getting bigger and bigger here. Summers are hot, spring and fall, and sometimes winter. Texas are not good at driving at rush hour traffic. So that makes 2 comments about San Antonio drivers. He goes on to say, San Antonio has more crime than LA, or so I've read, but have not experienced any. No mountains or snow. Now we don't have mountains necessarily, but we do have very high elevations. It's called the Texas Hill Country. Definitely a beautiful place. Now let's go to a little bit of a negative one. Lisa, do you regret moving to San Antonio? Why or why not? Lisa says, yes, the city has nothing to offer talented people, even though the gentleman said before that there's a lot of healthcare jobs, and it's overran by criminal, illegal Mexicans harboring racist views, bringing a lot of poverty and SNAP food recipients. I've never heard of a SNAP food. And polluting the city further by selling large quantities of meth to everyone. And finally, she says there's nothing fun to do and nothing to look at. Well, you have the Pearl, you have the Riverwalk, you have Six Flags, you got the San Antonio Zoo, you got Brackenridge Park, you have Lock and Terry, you have the Rim, you have food trucks, you have a lot of family-friendly restaurants, you got breweries. But I guess I agree, there is no good Chinese food. If you agree with Lisa, let me know in the comments. And Lisa, if you're watching, I want to know where you live because I don't agree. Somebody asked, I'm from Austin, should I move to San Antonio? Glenn says, you are not from Austin or you would already know the answer. A common belief for people here is people from Austin move to San Antonio and Austin-fy it. Robert Shoemaker, according to Quora, who lives in San Antonio, says, San Antonio has a lot to offer. There are many good restaurants, some very good Mexican food, great public libraries, art museums. The problem I have is with the drivers. Strike 3 with the drivers. I have been hospitalized twice because of accidents while riding my bicycle. In one accident, I was hit from under the car, breaking my tibia. Okay, maybe you should watch out for the drivers. Let's jump over to Reddit, and this person says, am I alone in noticing that posters like Texas accept our weird pride and why? Texas is very proud of Texas, so you will see a lot of Texas flags, Texas trucks, cattle, farm and ranch. Texas loves its shape and the fact that you can drive 15 hours in the state and still be in Texas. I asked the family that we relocated from California to Texas if they have any regrets of moving to San Antonio. Good morning. So I missed some things about County, but I would never go back. 100%, this is the best decision we made for our family. The summer here is a little brutal, but that's the only thing we have to gripe about. Totally agree, Gabby. This summer especially was ridiculously hot. Here's a client we relocated from Austin to San Antonio because Austin prices were getting ridiculous. Berkeley says, hello, honestly so far I don't have a single regret. I'm very happy I made the move. To me, San Antonio is just very laid back. We don't have the hustle and bustle like Austin, and even though San Antonio is a big city, I feel like people appreciate going from a very, very busy city to San Antonio, which is very laid back. A very popular culture in San Antonio, and there's even bumper stickers that says, keep San Antonio lame. In my opinion, we have a very, very rich culture, but we're not trying to be like anybody else. We want to keep the San Antonio culture lame, I guess. Now what you've all been waiting for is let's go to the local Facebook groups and people who have already lived here, that have grew up here, and that have relocated for military, for jobs, and the people that have no reason to lie. I got 62 comments on my Facebook post from local people who live here, and I'm gonna highlight the ones that weren't born and raised here. Tim Macy, Air Force veteran who relocated here for basic training at Lackland, says, I thought barbecue was the thing, when really it's all about the breakfast tacos. D'Angelo Williams, who's a loan officer here, says that mountain cedar will break you down worse than the flu or COVID combined. I gotta agree. There's also some comments about allergies being in all 4 seasons. As you can hear from my voice on this YouTube video, I got some allergies going on right now. John Sutton says allergies. Rachel says how to spell Nacogdoches. When I first got here, I didn't even know how to say Nacogdoches. The street gutter system sucks. The crime rates. This random guy, Ron, who I don't know, says that its streets were laid out by drunk Mexicans. This guy's an idiot. I blocked him. Sola, who's a new home sales rep here locally, says that the homes priced in 2011 would never be that price low again. Should have bought then. Jeremiah agrees with Sola and says, man, I'm telling you, if I knew my house in 2006 when he bought it for $130,000 would sell for $310,000, I would have bought and hold. Brandy says that the 8-to-5ers, which means the W-2 employees, are making way, way less money than in California. Shawnette, who is part of a home warranty company, says, sprinkler systems and gutters are not standard here, which I totally agree with. I feel like it should, because when it rains here, it pours. It can be dry for 3 or 4 months with no rain, so gutters and sprinklers are important, but they are definitely not common in either new homes or pre-owned homes. Stephanie says that H-E-B is the best grocery store, absolutely, but Costco is a close second. Dane says that he was gonna gain 25 pounds from the get-go, and that's all thanks to breakfast tacos, lunch tacos, and then Mexican dinner plates. Mandy says she regrets not knowing Spanish. Stacy regrets not knowing which side is best to live on in San Antonio. So we actually sold Stacy's house in the far west home in a beautiful community, and she relocated very far north with us near Canyon Lake. This is all great insight. The 5 things that are most common that people say that they regret not knowing before moving to San Antonio is the weather. It is stupid hot at times, but it's also better to have a nice calm winter where it's like 50, 60 degrees, but you do have to deal with the 100-degree weather in August. The allergies can be killer. Be careful. Number 3 seems to be the drivers. I was a police officer in the city. We were pretty active with drivers, but then again, we are a city of about 2 million people with a lot of tourism, and being from New York City, I really don't think it's that bad. Number 4 regret from local people who didn't originally live here was holding on to their real estate when they bought it. In my other videos, I talk a lot about affordability, different areas, different price points, and that San Antonio is the last of the Mohicans. We have the lowest median home price. Affordability is there. There's a lot of things to do, but there's also a lot of development. I did a lot of information-packed videos called Coming to San Antonio, which has all the information of what developments, and these are 1,000-acre developments that they're building, and also revitalizing the downtown area in that video. The 5th regret was not knowing where to live. If you have recommendations on where to live in San Antonio, drop them in the comments, because the comments are where people go. The information is very, very valuable. I do have a lot of videos about different neighborhoods, but your feedback is crucial. And one last thing, if you want information about relocating around San Antonio, shoot our team a message. We'd love to help. We're very knowledgeable in the area, and maybe we can find some good Chinese food together. Thanks for watching.